Hey guys, it's MetaGamesGX here, and we are here with my branded Despia deck profile from my recent experience series that I'm going to be doing now every Monday, where we take a duelist, usually going to be me, and we just follow them through the whole locals, and we record every duel, just give you guys the whole experience of a deck. This is the Despia deck that I was using there. We went 3-1, only going blown out to Labyrinth. So I guess I can place that day, so we are going to just profile it. We have regionals this weekend, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be running this, but this is what I would run if I was going to run it. Maybe some changes, but, you know, I think this build's extremely good for the current meta. I think we had to kind of change the build a lot because of Purrely and Cash, and then Unchained, and, you know, Illusion, other Vanadium as well. So, you know, with all those decks in rotation now, not just kashtira that you have to worry about. So we got 2 Cartesias, 1 Quem. So I think I was on 3 Cartesias, 2 Quem last time, but we cut that down just to cut down on bricks, because sometimes it can't be a little bit bricky. You don't always see the duality. 3 Aluber, because we want to see branded fusion, and we can usually end up dodging imperm with Aluber, so it's pretty good. I still like at 3 in this version. Then we have 3 Fallen of Albaz. Obviously, the core of the deck, we have to run 3, in my opinion, no less. So these are the ratios. This is a 46 card deck as well. So that's why we had to cut down on the Quems and Cartesias. But I think 2 and 1 is just fine. You don't really ever need more. Sometimes the Quem comes up in grind game, but honestly, you don't really, if you don't burn all your fuel, you'll be fine. We have the one-ofs, Maximus, Puppet for the 1 card Gimmick lock. This deck is a Gimmick lock deck as well. Going first, you use Gimmick Puppet to ensure your win going first. If not, you just make them burn through cards, and then you have a Dragoon plus other follow-up or something of that nature plus Mirror Jade. So that's why Gimmick Puppet's still the best way to run this deck, frankly. I know a lot of people hate on it. You know, if a guy comes to your locals and ruins your day because of Gimmick Puppet, I get it. It's kind of like Mystic Mind, but it is the best way to run the deck. And if you're going to regionals, you are going to run this version. So that's why I do. And then Dark Magician, because it's extremely good at going second. You know, I lost, like, I would have went to day 2 at Nats if I had this in my main deck against kashtira. You really just want it. It's really good against going second against most decks, against Labyrinth and especially too. So, and Maximus obviously just sets up your plays really well. And then just really standard Tragedy, Albion, Mercurier is insane because you search off a Lost all the time. Albion plus Sarnier plus Lubellion. This is why I don't cut these. Also, Sarnier is just really good as a Bestial right now, and Lubellion just helps you play around getting that Lost, and then also I like seeing these more than I don't like seeing these. You know, sometimes they can be bricks, but I think they're very often not bricks. And then we're going into hand traps plus generic board breaker kind of things. We have 3 Droll, 3 Imperm, and then 3 Book of Moon. So this is the biggest change to the deck that I've had since my last first place deck profile for pure branded. So this is the update for the meta, Book of Moons for the kashtira Purrely meta, and really it's good against most other things. It helps you dodge Imperm. It's just an insane card right now, so I really love it. 3 Imperm because it's just the best hand trap right now in my opinion. You dodge getting around Thrust and Tactics, and then 3 Drolls because it's just like it makes non-games, and like, you know, I like back and forth in YuGiOh, but if you're trying to win a game, you want to make as many non-games as you can. You know, that's how it is in Edison. So, Droll makes a lot of non-games in my game 1, and then we decided it out for Ash for the decks that it isn't good against. It does suck against Labyrinth. You saw me lose, so I have considered just putting in Ashes, but that's why we do side the Ashes. I really do like that ratio. You see a lot of the cards, and it's pretty consistent amongst the because you have a lot of 1 card combos in this deck, so you can afford to see a lot of run a lot of hand traps. 3 Brand Fusion, finally got my multi playset, best card in the deck. If you resolve it, you win. 3 opening, 1 loss, 1 red, and really standard. Don't really have to explain much more. We don't play High Spirits because it's just a brick half the time. Then 3 Nadir Servant. So Nadir Servant's so good. We'll do a 1 card combo just for the guys who have not seen the short because I didn't do it in the last video. But this card is a 1 card Gimmick lock. It's really insane if you draw like a hand a handful of just like, sometimes at Despia you do have to run some garnets, so it's like Nadir Servant unbricks your hand, helps you play through Ash. Also, we are not running Thrust, this is just our Thrust, we play through Ash. If we get Ash, I don't care, I have Nadir Servant. On top of that, we have 2 Duality to help you play through Ash as well. So you go you make the Cartesic, Wignall, then Duality, and then have Dragoon on board, and then you Ash, or do Branded Fusion, so it's really good. I don't think you need more. I think Thrust can kind of be bricky, and you need the Book of Moon, Imperm, Ash, you know, those cards. Droll, just way more impactful right now against the top decks. 3 Deployment, just one of the best cards in the deck, and then really good generics. If you draw a call by, you win. 1 Retribution for the last main deck, so that will be it for the main deck, 46 card main deck. I'm really happy with it. I might change, like I said, the Droll to Ashes, but it's really tight as it is. I don't see myself changing too much more. Maybe like Eclipses, but like that's if I'm really afraid of Cash and Purrely, which I've been seeing a lot of Illusion and Unchained, so you don't really need it for those. Gwignall, really amazing card. This card sets up so much. It gets you into your Dragoon through Duality. It also gets you shout out to the Starlight. It also gets you your Gimmick puppet in your graveyard. It gets you your Albion. It's also a special summon. It's arguably just the best fusion in the deck. 1 Sanctifier to go along with that. Arguably also one of the best fusions in the deck. It gets you, it's untargetable, so it's an FTK against Kashtira, and also it gets you your Gimmick puppet lock, and also can just graveyard modulate your opponent, fuck them up that way. Also recycle Mirror Jades. If you use Mirror Jade, then fuse off with Cartesia, then refuse it or revive it back with Albion. You can banish twice with Mirror Jade that turn. So because it forgets that it was its effect resets. 2 Albion and 2 Mirror Jade, really standard. Can't run less. You need to run. I see Chimera on 1 Mirror Jade, and we'll explain the difference between Chimera and pure branded. Because I've been testing both variants, as you guys know. I've done many deck profiles on the Chimera variant. I'm personally a proprietor of the pure branded variant, but we will go on to that in the discussion portion of this video. 1 Lubellion, because that's really all we need. I would like to run 2, but you can usually just, when you summon this, you will just recycle it back, so you don't need to if you play smart. 1 Rundbrum and 1 Brigand. Brindrun is amazing. Brigand, you send off of Bucephalus with the Nadir Servant. So it gets you infinite pluses, then you send Lulu plus Albion off the Nadir Servant, then 1 Quertus, then the 2 generics, Dragoon and Chimera, just 2 of the best cards in the extra deck, just generically. Dragoon, you want to end on boards with Dragoon, you usually go into Dragoon with your Brand Fusion. If you have like a Nadir Servant, you can just shotgun the Dragoon and then do your stuff with Nadir Servant. It's really good, and then Chimera just clears boards. Incredible side deck and extra deck, and the sad part is like I don't really have room to cut much. I would like to run a Titaniclad, I would like to run a Sprine, I would like to run Dracostepelia, but I can't cut any of this, genuinely. Like, you need 2, you need, I mean, you could cut 1 theoretically, you could cut this and this theoretically, but like, if you want the 1 card Gimmick lock, you need to run these, so. And the Lulu, obviously, for the Nadir. So yeah, we'll go into the side deck. 3 Ash Blossom. So yeah, we love Ash Blossom. We side this in basically when Droll isn't doing enough. Also like the lab decks and stuff like that. It's just really good. Speaking of which, 2 Bestials. I just think that hand traps are insane this format, plus a beast. So this is like your lab hate for the most part. I mean, you also have an evenly matched, but we'll get into that. So basically, Beast sticks around, and you can search off a Lubellion plus the Magnemite Druid Storm, so you have so much interruption plus a search. Like, you're able to just like a lot. This is your grind game right here against most decks, and a lot of decks don't have an answer to this. Ash obviously is just infinitely good. It's so good. Yeah, people are on tactics, but you know, if you know they're on it, don't side it. Elba for Dragon Link, it's really good against Dragon Link. 2 Eclipse for Cash and Purrely, more of that, and just like other things like Menadium, it's pretty good. I wouldn't like to run 3, but sometimes I just think it's not that great. And then we will get into the goo, I guess. The Thrust package. So this is the side decked skinny thrust package. We used to main deck most of this. We've now moved this to the side deck. Why? Because it's a brick going, it just adds more bricks, and since we're running hand traps, we can side out the hand traps going first for this, so it adds for easy side patterns. I would like to run 3 thrust, but I can't afford it in the side deck. The space, I would like to run 2 more dark rulers, but like the thrust allows me to just bridge into any of these, or like a branded fusion, and like you really don't care, like even if they like stop it, like yeah, you would like to hard draw the ruler, but like if they stop the one thing, then okay, then you get branded fusion off, or then you get the thrust off, then you can get whatever. So it's like thrust just does a lot, and it grabs anything. It's your deck's the best thrust deck, so you just need thrust in either the side or main deck, in my opinion. And branded, it's just way too insane not to run it. Okay, so that was the side deck, and we will get into why I think pure branded is currently better than Illusion Chimera. So Illusion Chimera branded is very good. It has a lot of recursion, it has a lot of things going for it. You know, the discard is something that branded doesn't have typically, and you can do a lot of this on top of standard branded combo. You're able to play through Dark Ruler no more, you're able to play through Ash because you're able to still end on a Chimera board. Why is it worse than pure branded? Because pure branded does not lose to Droll as much. Like Nadir Servant is obviously a thing, but like you lose to interruptions far more in Illusion. Just like Ash the Mirror Sword Knight, okay, cool. It's like you can't go to Eluber, you have to hard draw the fusion then, or the opening. So it's very good, and I think a lot of people are seeing success with it because it is a good deck. It's basically almost as good, if not as good, as pure branded. I just think pure branded in the right hands is better, and it's more that and that's why you see it winning. You saw it win a regional last week and doing well. So you know, people who said that branded was tier 2 or tier 3, it's tier 1.5 in my opinion. It's still very good in the right hands. Sometimes people don't know how to play, or they just don't want to play Gimmick Puppet. Alright, so we will get into the 1-card combo with Nadir Servant. So we use Nadir Servant and we send. This is how we're going to get a 1-card Gimmick lock to basically FTK your opponent. You send Bucephalus, and then you search out a Dogmatica monster. It could be Quem, Fallen of Albaz, or the thing that we're actually going to search, the Maximus. So Maximus is, but then we're going to use Bucephalus' effect on resolution to send a Winged Beast or Beast Warrior from our extra deck to the graveyard. We said Brigand. I mean, obviously, depending on your hand, like you can do different things and you can modulate this combo, but this is what you do if you have 1 card. This is why this combo is so good, and these cards, why you run these cards. Just so if you have Brigand, Nadir Servant still just gets you where you need to. So then Brigand will do some things in the end phase that you need to do. Then we'll use Maximus to banish for cost the Bucephalus to special summon, and then Maximus will use its effect to send 2 monsters from your extra deck to the graveyard, and your opponent also sends it right after, sends the same amount. So if obviously you can get Ash or Impermed, but like this is also something that you can do after you play through the hand traps, because most of the time you aren't going to have 1 card. So this is why this is so good as well. So we are going to send Albion. This is what you always send for the 1-card combo. You send Albion and Lulu Wall Lilith. Lulu Wall Lilith and Albion and Brigand will all have effects in the graveyard that are very integral to this combo. So then all we have to do is then go into the end phase and do this in you can do it in any order really. We go Lulu Wallith, special summon a light spellcaster with the same attack or defense, obviously Quem or Cartesia, but we are going to do a Quem or a Cartesia in this case, because we need the extra fusion summon in order to complete the combo with just 1 card. So so we'll special out the Cartesia, and then we'll use the Albion's effect to set a branded in red, which is the quick play fusion summon. So you'll have access to 2 fusions. You need to have access to 2 fusions in order to do this, plus like Cartesia and Albaz basically. So you have to loop those cards a little bit, and then we use the Brigand to get a Fallen of Albaz to hand. Okay, so now we set this, and then we pass it over to our opponent with our Elbaz in hand. And then they go into main phase. Now, obviously, if you have other cards, you can do this in draw phase. You would prefer to do this in standby or draw phase before they can do Dark Ruler no more. So I recommend doing this combo in the standby or draw phase if you have other cards in order to do that. Like if you already have an Elbaz in graveyard, you can activate the Brandon Red and just make the Gwen that way, and then you can Cartesia, or, you know, maybe you already have the Albion on board, so it's like the Sanctifier, so it's like you can modulate this combo. So you wait for your opponent. Let's say they activate like Cymat, like Prosperity, cool. Activate Cartesia, Chain, Fusion. You fuse with Albaz specifically and send it to the graveyard. This is very important. And then you send it to the graveyard as well. And then you go into Grand Guignol, our favorite, and then you use Grand Guignol's Chainlink 1 to send everyone's favorite Gimmick Puppet. And then we will immediately chain Branded in red, targeting the Fallen of Albaz in graveyard to add to hand, and then you get to fuse off the Maximus. You could do the Grand Guignol too, but you want to save it because that's also an interruption that you want. And the Maximus is basically burnt out at that point into an Albion. Yes, Albion just needs a light spellcaster as the other monster. So then we will immediately chain Albion to target Sanctifier and Cartesia, or Cartesia and Gimmick Puppet, give our opponent the Gimmick Puppet, and give ourselves a Cartesia for follow-up next turn. And that's how you do it, folks. That is the one-card Gimmick Puppet. I've showed this a few times, but I just think it's insane, and like if more people knew about this, they would run this deck. I know people maybe not enjoy this playstyle, but I think that the deck basically gives your opponent an out. It's like out the Gimmick Puppet, and then we can play YuGiOh, basically. It's very good. It's the best way to run this deck. I think this deck is basically tier 1 when you're running it like this. So if you enjoyed this deck profile, please like and comment below. We got upgrade camera. We're fast going to 2,000 subscribers. We're about to hit 1,200. So thank you all very much for the continued support. Check out the duels. We're starting a new series every Monday. We're going to do full locals of duels, and we're going to do other series too. So please, if you want more deck profiles, let me know what you want down below. We'll try to get them, or duels or anything like that. See you guys later. Have a good day.